cricket as our reporters visited Cobham Ivorians cricket team to see how up-and-coming star Callum Allenbury is progressing.
Cam Allenbury is one of Ivorian's rising stars, and this year he really has the opportunity to showcase his talent. On an overcast, foggy morning in Cobham, we sat down with Cam and discussed his journey into playing cricket at the A's.
Probably 2013. Me and Mum started coming down watching the ones and twos, and we every so often play on a Saturday, and it looked fun and enjoyable. So a group of me and mates from school thought it would be a good idea to come down here because it's obviously like 2 minutes from our house. Then when my stepdad Brett came over from Australia, it kind of excelled since he obviously enjoyed playing back in Australia. It kind of improved it quite a lot, and also just playing with him makes it so much better.
The 16-year-old is approaching the 2023 season, but whilst being out of the game, he's been putting in the work in the off-season. The opportunity to play cricket every Saturday is something Cam is looking forward to, and he is hopeful that an abundance of improvement is on the horizon.
Just corners, just has sort of shadow batting, just making sure I'm getting my feet right, my hands to the ball, or where the ball would be. Just a bit of cardio, just to make sure I can, if need, I can get those threes in without being absolutely gassed, and those twos. And I've got to say, those occasional fours you got to run.
Cam's end goal is to play regular ones cricket.
Yeah, of course. It's just, at the end of the day, it's more game time, isn't it? So hopefully I'll be playing on the Sundays as well. So it's just time in the middle and time behind the stumps keeping. It's just improving all those fundamentals, which are really key to getting the game down pat. To end up hopefully playing ones cricket on a good regular basis, being on that standard ones core, which you play every week.
However, there could be even more to look forward to for the rookie, as a trial for Surrey could be on the cards. Alex Isaacs, Solent Sports News.
Now we have live to Surrey, where Alex Isaacs is with Cam Allenbury.
I'm here at Cobham Ivorian Cricket Club with rising star Cam Allenbury. How are you, Cam?
Good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure.
First and foremost, Cam, can you tell us a bit more about your trial at Surrey?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was a great experience, to be fair, to meet all my potential teammates and the potential coaching staff, and it was just really amazing to see what talent there was at our age at that trial.
Yeah, no, it must have been great for you. And in terms of aspirations and goals for the upcoming 2023 season, what are they and what are you willing to achieve?
This year, once again, I'm just trying to get a lot more game time in the ones, keep batting where I'm batting, keep fielding where I'm fielding, keep keeping, just to really get that game time in. So hopefully in this progression, I can make more waves, hopefully maybe in other teams, or we'll just see where it takes us.
And your morning routines before a game, what do you do? What do you do to prepare, and what do you eat?
Well, normally on a Saturday I'll have a nice breakfast. Maybe that might be a waffle and some yogurt, or just something really nutritious. Then I'll do some stretches just to make sure the body's loose. Then I'll kind of have a chilled morning till I get to the game. Then we'll have a big team warm up and go from there. To be fair.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Cam.
No, of course, mate. Thank you so much for having us.
Back to you in the studio.
Rugby now, and Simon Middleton has decided to step down from his role as the head coach of England's women's rugby union side after this year's Six Nations. The NBE has placed England's Red Roses on the map, and as his side reached successive World Cup finals and won 5 Six Nations, including 4 Grand Slams. The 57-year-old won a record-breaking 30 matches whilst in charge of the rampant English side. Another England coach on the way out is Richard Cockerill. He will leave his role as England's forwards coach after this year's Six Nations to join French club Montpellier. Richard Wigglesworth and Aled Walters will join England's coaching setup before the 2023 Rugby World Cup. There are 4 FA Cup 4th round replays on tonight. One of those include Wrexham, as they look to record one of the biggest upsets later as they travel to Bramall Lane to face Sheffield United. The two sides drew 3-3 last month after John Egan's 95th minute equaliser that sent the tie to a replay. The club, co-owned by Hollywood star Ryan Reynolds, haven't reached the stage of the competitions since 1997. Manager Phil Parkinson mentions how much support has affected his team's performance.
Obviously, would love to have got through at the first time of asking, but there's another chance for us, and great opportunity to play at a terrific stage, great stadium, Bramall Lane, and test ourselves again.
Staying with football, Leeds United are on the hunt for a new manager after they sacked American manager Jesse Marsch. After just a year in charge, Michael Subaka will take charge of Ellen Road on a temporary basis alongside fellow coaches Paco Gallardo and Chris Almas. Current striker Patrick Bamford has been labelled a joke after comments have emerged of the 29-year-old criticising Marsch, according to ex-professional Chris Sutton.
Their centre-backs just literally had me to concentrate on, so we needed more runners running past me to kind of drag them out of position and create a bit more space, whereas the whole game was literally 2v1, which made it difficult, and unfortunately today I couldn't find the answers to solve that.
2 men have been jailed for the robbery at the home of elite cyclist Mark Cavendish. The 37-year-old was held at knife point in November 2021, when Mario Henry and Ali Sesse broke into Cavendish's house in Essex. Chelmsford Crown Court sentenced Henry to 15 years in prison, while Sesse got 12. 2 Richard Mille watches valued at £400,000 were stolen during the robbery. British golfer Justin Rose has secured his first PGA Tour win in 4 years with his victory at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in California yesterday. He becomes the first European to win at this event. The 42-year-old has insisted that access to major championships is why he's playing at the PGA Tour. Staying with golf, the cost of living has made it harder for the general public to go out and enjoy their free time. Members of the Southampton Municipal Golf Club spoke about how a council-owned golf course has benefited them.
Cost of living nowadays makes it really hard to play golf. We're here at Southampton's only council-owned golf course, where we spoke to some of the members to get their opinions and views of the prices of golf nowadays. Since the pandemic, participation in golf has grown, with people taking up the sport in order to socialise and keep themselves busy. 63-year-old Gary Stride explained what made him start the sport.
I became a bit of a recluse in COVID. I've had pneumonia previously and hospitalised with it, so obviously I had a fear of a respiratory disease. And whilst I had hobbies and I was sat at home like everyone else, I became very insular, and my cousin, bless her heart, said, "Gary, you need to take up golf." So I did.
The Southampton Municipal Golf Course provides a comprehensive pathway into the sport at an affordable price for all of its members and the community.
It's absolutely fabulous because I can drop a month, do a month. So for £30 on this course, you've got access to a beautiful woodland 9-hole course, and I can play it unlimited.
Trevor Williams, who is a member at the Affordable Golf Club, explains that the course is one of the best in the area.
I mean, this is probably the best value course that I know of around Southampton. I mean, I was a member of a private course at Romsey, and this is probably £400 or £500 cheaper. But so yeah, and I think it's probably the best course as well. I had a packing golf about 3 years ago. Could have had quite a few hip operations, and I did get quite low, you know, because I've obviously been used to being sport. I was a PE teacher. I was working as well until I was 72. And when I was allowed to come back into golf, it's had a massive impact on me, obviously, you know, because I'm much happier.
As you can see, at Southampton Municipal Golf Club, it's a birdie putt.
Now to badminton, where Vice-Captain Matt Hales of the Solent badminton team talks about upcoming events.
If you thought badminton wasn't a very competitive sport, you'd be wrong. We visited the Solent Sports Hall, where Team Solent train every Monday evening. The Solent badminton team currently compete in the Bucks Western 2A League. However, they are hoping to make a push this season in order to get promoted into the 1A League.
I'd like to see Solent move up a tier or something like that, and maybe, yeah, see better results next year and other things like that.
The Bucks institution is a fierce association where players from all across Great Britain come together to match up against one another. 300 teams currently play in the league every Wednesday, with the season finishing with a Bucks Big Wednesday. There is also a Bucks National, which sees the individual championships take place, where 700 students compete to win the major title.
So obviously we play every Wednesday. It does get really competitive, so we're playing against like Bristol, UE, Exeter, and they're much higher funded unis in terms of badminton. So playing against them, it does get a bit more competitive because they're obviously more difficult teams to go up against.
Although badminton is a competitive sport, it is also a great activity to partake in if you just want to have some fun and relieve some stress with your friends. But it means a lot more for these players to represent their university.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling to represent just any university. But yeah, because we're here, it's nice to represent this university in any sport.
One of the regular members, and then I moved on to doing almost like base captaining right now. So I mean, as a person, I've definitely been able to adapt and get more comfortable in the sport again.
Chance Cromick, Solent Sports News.
And finally, Bulletin Park Social Club isn't where you'll find your average deluxe league player. Current and former professional players battle it out in Southampton to advance in their playing careers. Here's what our reporters found out at the club.
It's a Tuesday evening down at Bulletin Park Social Club, and that means darts night for participants of the Southampton's Darts Series. And there are plenty of prizes to play for.
This is the 26th season we've been going, and it's just been getting more and more popular as time's gone on. Everybody's welcome. It's completely open every single week. We do get current and former professionals come in, so for those that do know darts, we get the Australian Simon Whitlock, lives down in Portsmouth. He comes here most weeks. Richard North, who just tried to bribe you there, he used to have a tour card. And former world champion Les Wallace lives locally as well. He comes here now and again.
We caught up with Les to speak to him about how to make it to the Professional Darts Commission from playing locally.
You've got to go to Q school. It's like the golf. You've got to go and play and get your tour card. Yeah, I'm too old for that. Yeah, I wanted a nursing home, not Q school. Yeah. I'm down here practicing because I've got the World Seniors World Championship in 9 days' time. So I'm playing a couple of comps just to get my arm going. Win, lose or draw, it's a day out.
Richard North is another former PDC player, and his story is one of folklore in this club.
Well, basically, North, he'd been about local darts, all this and that. He went down to Portsmouth, played an exhibition because he was such a good player against Michael Van Gerwen. Michael Van Gerwen went to sponsor and said, "You need to have a look at this guy." And they went, "Oh yeah, he's very good." And it went on from there, sponsored him. He went to Q school, got his tour card. And the last 2 or 3 years, he's dropped out a bit because obviously he's got a little daughter he's just had. He wants to see her growing up and everything. He's got a day job. But North, he's on the way back up. And he'll be there again the next year or two, I guarantee it.
When I first started playing in the PDC, I was just happy to be there and compete with the best players in the world. Probably didn't think I was good enough at the time. Eventually I was. I beat some of the best players in the world, like Gale and Price, people like that. So yeah. Darts, I'm 32. No, I took a few years out, but I'm starting to enjoy it again. And that's the main thing, you got to enjoy darts. If you're not enjoying it, then there's no point playing. Not for a high level anyway. But yeah, I reckon next year I'm going to go back to try professional again, yeah.
Here at Bulletin Park Social Club, you'll find former and future darts greats. So if you find yourself nearby, pop in for a pint and go throw some arrows.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon for more sports news.